So Barstool Sports is one of those companies that people either are diehard fans of or they think it's a pathetic excuse for a company that employs people who call themselves sports journalists when they're really more like people who couldn't get hired by TMZ. Most of you know the founder, Dave Portnoy, and even then, you probably know him from his pizza reviews rather than him owning Barstool, depending on where you watch him. I mean, his One Bite channel only mentions Barstool once, and that's only if you click on See More. But if you're a college student or have been in the last 5 years or so, then all you need to hear is Portnoy, and you know exactly who I'm talking about. It's Davy Jones Locker Portnoy, the tiptoe troublemaker, the N-word slanger.
To all my niggas that been living it up, what you do?
The cheese and dough connoisseur himself. And over the years, Dave has expanded the Barstool brand into something enormous. Like, I think every college, or well-known college I should say, has a Barstool account dedicated to that school. And they all seem to be affiliated with Barstool. But I mean, fuck it, I could put that in my bio, you know what I mean? Affiliated with Brazzers and Bang Bro, and it's even grown beyond sports. Some of the most popular podcasts have nothing to do with sports and or the topic of sports takes a backseat to something else. Barstool is basically everything Adam22 wanted No Jumper to be, only people would rather watch grown men argue about sports rather than watch grown men argue about who's gonna fuck your wife next. You'll all eventually get a turn, trust me. But essentially, you don't even have to like sports or be misogynistic. Barstool has something for everyone. Now, unless Sean spent the editing budget on weed again, that's going to come out looking super sick. Where's Sean? Now, when someone is trying to grow their company by any means necessary, there are going to be some things that you do that, in hindsight, should have never been done.
If nothing else, the week-long controversy has put this website on the map. Blogger David Portnoy backed down, removing controversial photos of Tom Brady's naked 2-year-old from the site.
Now, other than that, they really only face the standard controversies mentioned about a company that caters to college kids, like underage drinking, a few rape jokes here or there that Dave happened to double down on.
I never condone rape, but if you're a size 6 and you're wearing skinny jeans, you kind of deserve to be raped.
Correct.
For some reason, a long-standing beef with Roger Goodell for how he treated Tom Brady for his role in Deflategate.
That rat, Roger Goodell, in about an hour, will be walking through these doors, 2 hours maybe. I don't know if I can get close to him. If I did, I'd probably punch him right in his fat face.
He even compared Colin Kaepernick to ISIS.
So I'm going to say something that's racist. But I don't think it's racist. I don't think if you think something and don't say or act upon it, you can be called a racist. When I heard this story, I didn't read it. I didn't know why he was saying there. I was like, oh, he's an ISIS guy. Throw a head wrap on this guy and he's terror.
So you're not racist if you don't act on the comments you made about how someone looks? What the fuck does that mean? Were you gonna force him to wear a turban? And then his excuse for saying that, as if he didn't say I'm going to be racist, was that this was a joke from The Office.
The thing people are coming at me now, the Kaepernick, it's like literally a joke from The Office.
Now, as someone who has ranked every character on The Office, and I mean every character, I can tell you that there isn't a single joke in The Office where anyone says, hey, if you put a head wrap on this guy, he'll look like a terrorist. The joke was that Michael mistakes the IT guy for being a terrorist because he's wearing a turban.
We liked the last guy, Sadiq, because he kept to himself. And we also thought he might have been a terrorist.
Pick up.
But when it comes to Barstool controversies, Davey I Hate LeBron Portnuts takes the cake.
Blaze Pizza, LeBron James, 0.
Until today. So there's this guy who works for Barstool named Jack Mack, who you might recognize from TikTok as the guy who invented the green line test.
In one sentence, the green line test is looking at body language as a way to understand a relationship.
So it's basically something he made up to make himself feel better about the fact that no woman would ever want to take a picture with him. Before creating this fail-proof relationship test, he was writing articles for Barstool, like this one about a woman washing dishes titled, "Woman Doesn't Know How to Do the Dishes. Her being so dumb actually makes me more attracted to her. Is that sexist of me? I'm just being honest. Why do I find being dumb so cute? Or maybe she's just hot." That's probably it. And that's literally all the article. It takes longer to watch the video he's commenting on than it does to read what he commented. Or how about this front pager? Horniest arrest of all time. Or how about, I am beyond impressed with Ranch Girl. I don't have much else to say except that I came away very attracted to Ranch Girl. What aren't you attracted to, you fucking pervert? But after realizing that Jack was not meant to be behind behind a computer, they put him behind a phone. And in 2021, he started uploading TikToks, mostly about sports. There might have been a few relationship stories here or there, but for the most part, if something about a certain sport went viral, he was there to talk about it. Until early 2022, so not even a full year after he started uploading, did his content switch up to just fucking nonsense. Like, out of these 18 videos right here, 5 of them are about sports, the rest are talking about his dumbass green line test.
The biggest fallacy behind the green line test is that it has to do with height.
The biggest fallacy about the green line test is that the guy who invented it has never even been within 100 feet of a woman, and it gets worse from there.
Here's a little hack for the fellas tonight. Just put this on the Instagram story. The hoes gonna love this.
Again, how would he know that? But it gets worse.
I don't know what it is, what science it is behind it, but Diet Coke out of a bottle isn't good. Every time I have it, I'm halfway done with this one. I'm like, I don't even think I like Diet Coke anymore.
No shit, it's because you're drinking Diet Coke thinking it's healthy. Drinking Diet Coke is like getting your fries from McDonald's with no salt. And it's like, dog, you ordered a triple quarter pounder. What the fuck you worried about salt for? They don't even make a triple quarter pounder. You special ordered that. Now, like Dave, when you get to a certain point to where you can upload a video and say just about anything, and no matter what, people are gonna be like, yeah, this guy's right, without questioning the authenticity of what you said, you're eventually going to say something that's gonna bite you in the fucking nuts, especially when you put no effort into researching anything you make a video on. So this picture right here went viral because this message basically said that this girl slept with this guy who was apparently her boyfriend's dad. Only none of this was true, and someone just made this picture with the intent of having it go viral. And after Jack Nuts over here made a video talking about it, basically telling people that this actually happened, even naming the girl, saying where she went to school, basically doing anything but fact checking what the fuck he was talking about, her life was obviously being ruined by some retard who draws green lines on people. And so after she went on NBC to clear up this rumor, Jack tweets out this apology. I now understand that these rumors are fake and the affair did not happen. I regret these comments and want to apologize to Mary Kate, her boyfriend, and both of their families. I will learn from this massive mistake. And do you think he learned? No. So I don't know if you guys heard, but back in December of last year, former college football player Kyren Lacy had been charged with negligent homicide, felony hit and run, and reckless operation of a vehicle after he apparently caused a crash that ended the life of a 78-year-old man. He then took his own life a day before he was supposed to get sentenced. Fast forward to a couple days ago, and Kyren Lacy's attorney releases this 44-minute video with surveillance and body cam footage, apparently proving that Kyren Lacy had been falsely convicted of this crash, meaning that allegedly everyone involved in what led up to Kyren taking his life needs to be held responsible. Like I said, they even have body cam footage of the cop telling this witness to say the crash happened this way when they're clearly saying otherwise.
In that video, you can clearly hear the suggestive nature indicating that I need you to say that you had to slam on your brakes and you had to avoid a charger.
Okay, just make sure you add in there that you had to slam on your brakes and the brakes, you had to slam on the brakes to avoid that charger and the brakes locked up to avoid that charger.
But then you hear Gold Truck, the witness who's the Gold Truck, what he says. And he says verbatim, I didn't skid marked or nothing because I wasn't even going that fast. That lady in the back of me, she didn't see what's happening. That's how she caused that wreck. She was gonna run into the back of me and she pulled into the other side.
And like I said, this just came out no more than 3 days ago. And before it did, everyone was like, if you can't do the time, don't do the crime. I'll even admit, I was like, that's one way to get out of going to jail. But I didn't post this picture of him and be like shocking, as if this tweet he replied to had mentioned anything about a gun. He's like, see, black people use anything as a weapon, not just a gun. Like, this is something where he needed to say, I'm going to say something racist, but unless I act on it, then I'm not racist. Because this was about a guy who caused an accident driving, and your immediate thought was, typical thug, he knows how to shoot a gun. Like, did you see him do this? And we're like, I can see him getting arrested in the future for sure. Future inmate right there, you know what I mean? Because if you did, then you're racist. And hey, some of you might be fine with that label. But I know Jack here isn't, and so now twice within the same year does he have to issue an apology to someone. Now, I'm not going to bore you and have you listen to him be like, I should have waited for more information to come out before I said anything. And it's like, you didn't have to wait for anything. A majority of the people who read this story when it came out, including me, had the same type of opinion you had, only we didn't make it about race, and instead we're like, yep, another dumb kid with potential throwing his life away. We weren't like, he got arrested for what? Causing an accident? Yeah, well, after he did that one thing in that one game and then never again, I knew it was only a matter of time before that was arrested. And you can be like, well, he was just making a comment. He wouldn't have put out a 2-minute apology video if it was just a comment. He was race baiting, and it's comments like this that ultimately got Kyren to take his own life. He knew he was innocent, but still, people like this were like, sure you are, buddy. You just don't point a gun at someone and not expect to have your life go to shit. Like, instead of him just making one of those stupid TikToks where he talks about what happened, what he said came back to bite him in the nuts hard. And people on TikTok are not happy about this plus-size white boy tweeting out something he never should have tweeted. But yeah, guys, Barstool might have some good people working for it, but when you're a diamond in the rough that's not actually a diamond and instead a dried up piece of shit, then maybe tell your employees, specifically this one, to at least do the minimum required amount of fact checking before posting a video. Until later today, peace!